cruising through downtown Austin. And yeah, it feels good. It feels good in Austin, Texas. As a matter of fact, it feels really good to be home. And there's some reasons why I'm being kind of pulled back to leave Thailand after being there for 6 years. And it has to do with work. It has to do with I'm just feeling good about being back in the U.S. And there's some things I feel are pulling me back to move back home after being in Thailand the last 6 years. Some of that has to do with business and work. I'll get into that more later in this vlog. But some of it has, I'm missing friends and family. And also, for whatever reason, this trip back to the US, I'm really loving it. I'm loving being home. And I think there's nothing like, you know how it is when you are from a country and you've been living abroad and you get back home. There's nothing like that feeling of being back home in your own country. That part is feeling really, really good. So sitting here outside the stadium, watching the football game. It's Saturday night in Austin, Texas. But I've always said, when I do move back to the US, I'll pick a place based on how it feels. And I always like the vibe of Austin, especially lately, being back home in the US. I'm liking Austin more than when I was back home in California this trip. But I'll go into more details about that. For now, I think I'm gonna take us into the stadium. Let's watch the rest of this game. While we're in there, I'm gonna share with you some of the reasons why I'm really excited about being back home right now. 20-10 in the fourth quarter. It's time to enter the stadium. And I'm here to tell you, there's things about American football that are reflective of our American culture and are the reasons I'm moving back home. So I'm just gonna kind of go through and share with you guys some of these things that are really special about American culture and the reflective in American football. And these are some of the things that I love and are the reasons why I would move back to the US. And I just made a short list. For one, the planning and the production of a game and the atmosphere, it's unmatched. You can't beat America's production around sport, around events, and time and urgency. It is the fabric of our culture. We're on time, we get things done, we have a countdown, and there's no procrastination. And if you go past your deadline in American football, you get penalized. Meritocracy. It doesn't matter your background. The best player plays. There's no buying your way onto the field. Resilience. It's all about toughness and persistence, how you act under pressure, never quit, be strong, work hard, and always be optimistic because there's always a chance for an incredible comeback. Fairness. I really appreciate this about American football. You have multiple referees, and if they get a play wrong, then there's an instant replay to get it right. And then the business of sport. America does it better than any other place. And that includes even the arenas and the stadiums. When they get old, outdated, and dilapidated, we renew them, we make them fresh. And you don't see that in many parts of the world. As good as we are at the business of sport, we're also that good at business in general in the US. But the business of sport, there is no better. Our sports leagues are the most valuable in the world. American football, number one. Then you have, I think, baseball and basketball. I think basketball is number two. And then the fourth most valuable league in the world, I think it's in India. I think it's cricket. I might be mistaken. You guys can correct it. I'm gonna watch the rest of the fourth quarter. Hopefully watch Texas win. Catch up with you guys after the game. And then I'm gonna walk back out to the car and finish this vlog in a place that's a little bit more quiet. Some Longhorns caught after those Aggies. How about that for the win? Wow, what an exciting game. Go Longhorns. Amazing win. So, walking back to the rental car. Gonna sit there and keep this vlog going. But no better way to start it than watching University of Texas Longhorns beat A&M Aggies. They're doing the post-game recap. You gotta love college football in America. It's exciting, and you look at that stadium and the production, and just all the things they have going on, the marching bands, the Texas A&M, like the military band, the student section, Bevo. I mean, just the production's amazing. And you stop to think, in the US, we have 100 of those stadiums between college and pro that do a similar style production. So I'm gonna tune off for this day, Saturday night. Gonna turn off, go get some rest. I'm gonna plug back in with you all on Monday and take you through the apartment hunt, go to the gym, do the routine, go to coffee, all the other things, and kind of take you through my thought process on moving back home to America after being abroad for the past 6 years. Guys, I'll see you on Monday. Good morning from Austin, Texas. Monday morning, what a great weekend. Now, time to start the week. Gonna do some apartment shopping. Going to kind of do the daily routine, go to the gym, go have some food, check out some massage places. But first stop, coffee. Where is Austin? First off, the population is about 1 million people. The metro area, 2.5 million. You're a 9-hour nonstop flight to London, about a 4-hour flight to New York, 3.5 hours to LA, and just over 2 hours to Mexico City. Inside Texas, you're about a 2.5 hour drive to Houston, and about a 3-hour drive to Dallas. Gonna grab a morning jolt of caffeine as we pull in here to park. Always convenient in the US, order ahead of time. The coffee will be waiting for me when I get inside. But one thing you notice is the drop-down option to add a tip. So in this case, the order is only, I think, $6, but the tip option is from 50 cents to $5. Coming in, I ordered my coffee on the app. Then you come in, it gives you the status of your order, put my name up there. But the whole thing required no interaction. Sometimes I'm wondering, all this technology and efficiency makes people more isolated. You come in, you order on the app, you don't have to talk to anyone. I feel like it starts to create a little bit more of a feeling of isolation. We're coming into downtown Austin. Next stop, gonna go check out a high-rise apartment here in downtown Austin. One thing I like is not having to drive, so that's why I'm going to pick a place that's kind of in an urban center to walk as much as possible and not have to be stuck in a car. So here we have it. Typical city life in downtown Austin. You still see quite a few like homeless, or whatever you want to call street people. In all cities I've been to this trip in the US, I think that's inevitable. It's just part of life now. In America and maybe around the world, because I saw a lot of that in Latin America too. When I was in Brazil and Colombia, I mean a lot. Maybe worse than the US when I was in downtown, say Medellin or Bogota, or even downtown Rio de Janeiro. Maybe an epidemic of drugs, mental health issues. I think it's all around the world now. But one thing I know, for my mental health, I feel a lot better when I'm not having to drive. I do not like being stuck in the car, and it's usually about this time, a few days back home, where I start to kind of miss life in Thailand, where it's just so simple and easy and free, meaning I really don't need a car in Thailand. You can just hop around on scooter or motorbike, and you don't have to worry about parking and the expense of having a car and gas and just being what I call trapped in this little box for what it seems like sometimes 1 or 2 hours a day or longer. So I'm gonna go up here and park and check out this apartment building. Pull in right here and park, and then walk across the street and check out the apartment. You can pull out the phone and scan that QR code. So I don't know if you can see that, but for 3 hours, it's $25. I'm gonna go up to this other lot where it's a little bit less expensive. I don't feel like spending $8 an hour to park in downtown Austin. So I think across the street, there's another lot that's less expensive. We are in Hanover Republic Square. This is Paul. Paul, we're taking a little tour. Paul took me up to a 2-bedroom, and that one is $6,200 per month.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful, nice open floor plan, about 2,200 square feet, 2 large bedrooms, and huge walk-in closet for an apartment, surprisingly.
Yeah, like another bedroom.
And then he took me down to another 2-bedroom, which was $4,500 a month.
Yeah, give or take. Yeah, that was our model. It's our T floor plan. It's our most popular one, but the one we saw, the W, is our largest one. The one with that big closet in there.
And really nice. And then the pool, similar to Thailand, the install wasn't too clean. So there's a crack. So there's no water in it right now. But you can see it's quite nice when there is water.
Yes, sir.
With a nice view. And now we're in a studio.
Now we're in a studio.
$2,100
give or take
a
a little
month,
right over it. Yeah.
Right here with the beautiful view of Austin downtown, and you also have kind of a open space here, kitchen and dining.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Nice walk-in closet,
So
shower.
I'm just comparing it to where I stay in Thailand, which I just park my things, you know.
Oh yeah.
Similar building, similar pool, but not as luxurious as this place, Hanover.
Yeah, one thing good about us is we construct, design, and manage our own properties. So everything you see in the entire building, we've actually personally handpicked ourselves.
What do you love about Austin?
I love the culture, the people, just the vibe of the city in general. Everybody's so accepting. You got so much that you can do here, very diverse, and it's just amazing. There's so much you can do here.
One thing cool about Austin is all the music, and you guys try to cross that theme
little,
over. You showed me your little music room.
Yep, we got the
here in the building, which is kind of cool. Nice amenities,
well.
nice gym. And then, why do you think people are moving to Austin?
I think just from what I just said, the culture itself. I mean, everything's blowing up, especially tech. All major corporations are coming here. I want to say Elon Musk even said himself, like many years ago, it's going to be like the next Silicon Valley. And pretty much it's kind of turning into that. So it's just all the things that you can just do here in Austin is just amazing. Like you said, from the live music to the trails, to the waters, to the views. I mean, it's great.
How full is the building?
We are 90% full right now. Yeah,
and 90%. What places are people moving from to come to your building?
California, Florida, New York, Philly. I mean, I have people from Washington. I mean, all over. I mean, it's mainly California is what we've been getting a lot here recently, but mainly it's from all over the United States, really. So we're like one of the #1 cities in America right now.
No doubt, and it's obvious why. You know, there's a lot of nice amenities, a lot of nice culture, a lot of stuff going on. But like you said, in this building, the pricing's comparable to some of the residential nearby in high rise. And you said it starts at this one, 2,100.
Yeah,
and it goes all the way up to
below. It's the only one I can see. We do have one that is an A floor plan. This is the B, so the A is our beginning. So it's fairly around the same price, just maybe a few $100s cheaper for the other one. So.
Cool. Man, Austin, it's not bad, guys, right? Look at this nice downtown, right? In Hanover.
Born and raised and stay here for a reason. I love it.
Born and raised and stayed here for a reason. Brake lights, stop lights, parking lots, car dependence. Everything starts and ends in a car in the U.S. Starts to feel isolating for me compared to what I'm used to, say, in Thailand, where I'm on a motorbike or a scooter. And there's just a lot more what I feel like human connection. I don't feel that in the US, and it always hits me a few days into being back home. There's so much I love about America, but the part about car dependence and always spending many hours a day in a week trapped in a car, parking, driving. It seems like it never ends. I'll tell you what, I'm getting old. I feel it more and more when I travel, especially when I travel a lot. And one thing that keeps me feeling pretty good when I'm in Thailand is massage. I get a 2-hour massage in Thailand 4 times a week. So I'm gonna do kind of a comparison. There's a massage place here next to Starbucks called Calm Massage, and see what the pricing is and what kind of massage they offer. So let's take a look inside here at Calm Massage. And how much for 2 hours?
2 hours there.
160?
Yes.
And then how much is tip?
It's for you.
So maybe 30%?
Okay.
Similar to Thai massage?
Yes, I do stretching, like walking.
Walking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
See you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
So it's called Calm Massage. It's $200. I say 200 because it's 160. Typically people give about a 30% tip. So it's about $100 an hour, $200 for 2 hours. So when I go to my 2-hour massage in Thailand, it is $15 and for everything. And I'm very particular about massage. So the one I get in Thailand, my favorite masseuse, is I put her in the top 3 I've ever had in my life, and including all of Thailand. And it's, in Thailand, it's 2 hours for $15 here, and pretty typical in the US because went all over the country this trip. It's about right. After tip, about 200 for 2 hours here in the US. Thank you. Gracias. Hasta luego. Eating lunch in the car, Chipotle chicken bowl. I'm on my way to the gym, but it's already kind of late. It's almost dinner time for some people. It's almost 4 p.m. I've been hustling, running around all day. Didn't really have time to eat a lunch. It was $13.50. I swear the same order about 6 years ago was about half that price. I feel like that's how everything is right now in regard to dining out or grabbing something to go, even at fast food in America. Feels like all the prices are about double what they used to be 6 years ago. After I made my order, I was going to sit down inside and eat, but then I kind of canvassed the interior, and it just feels kind of cold and sterile. And on a cold day like today, it's just more comfortable, I think, turning on the heater, sitting in the car, and watching a Russell Crowe interview on YouTube about why he's never going to get married again. Going to finish off my chicken bowl and head to the gym. All right, just pulling up to the gym. Going over here to Anytime Fitness. And some random thoughts is I'm looking for a parking spot is just how I don't like sitting all day like this. You know, what I notice is I'm observing more, just a lot of sitting. It doesn't feel good. And however you want to say it, but you know what I mean if you ever are in Thailand and say you're on a motorbike or a scooter. You just feel like there's human connection at every stoplight, or even riding, because you see like grandma riding on the back of a scooter, or maybe riding the scooter with baby, and kids and everyone just out. It's like almost like a meeting, plaza, the center of town. It happens on a motorbike. But when I'm driving so much during the day, like I do when I'm back home in the US, it does start to feel a little bit isolating. And, or I should say I start to feel isolated compared to knowing different, say in Asia or in Thailand, or even in New York, where people are out taking public transport, which is similar to a lot of Japanese cities too, where people are always moving and you're brushing elbows and shoulders. All right, now to get to the gym, get some blood pumping. I end up having more than one gym memberships. In particular, I'm happy to endorse Anytime Fitness. I love Anytime Fitness. I have more than one gym membership, but Anytime's great because all over the US and all over like Japan, they're everywhere. I think it's the biggest gym chain in regard to quantity in Japan. So it makes it super convenient, especially there, but also in the US. All right, so the highlight of my day when I'm in the US, getting a workout in. one of the highlights of my day during the week. Of course, there's more things going on in the weekend, but during the week, it's a moment I look forward to. Tuesday morning, coming to you from Austin, Texas on a Tuesday morning. Yesterday was a great day. I had a chance to check out that apartment that I took you on a tour on. And the plan today was to do more of that, to do more research, look at more apartments. But I'm having a few second thoughts. I'll share more about that with you in just a minute. But I think all this driving on the freeway has me thinking about things. And I'm going to get into that in just a minute. But I'll tell you what, one thing I really enjoy about being back home in the U.S., and including here in Austin today, is all the good air quality, all these blue skies. It's so nice to be out of what is often the poor air quality in Southeast Asia. But I think everything has trade-offs. And as much as I'm loving being back home, as much as I enjoy Austin, I mean, Austin has a lot to offer. There's a lot to love about Austin. I mean, it's cool. You have the lake, you have everybody doing fitness. It does feel like the second Silicon Valley almost, with all the technology. You have Google here and Apple and all the other tech giants moving here, like Tesla. You have University of Texas, sports, you have football. It's quite remarkable. But the more I'm driving in the car, the more I'm stuck on freeways. And the more I'm stuck in traffic, the more I'm driving, the more time I have to think and reflect on things and what my life is like in Thailand, and the freedom of being on a motorbike or a scooter. And while you're doing so, you have all that human contact and human connection. Going to the beach, the outdoor markets, all the coffee shops and temples, and all the wellness, the saunas, the ice baths, even the gyms, the street food, all the Thai smiles. And it's just more light, there's more harmony, there's more, what I feel like there's more community. And I'm not in a car in Thailand the way I am in the US. I'm outdoors more. And the other thing I'm thinking about is expenses too. I mean, driving, having a car, insurance, gas, parking, it all adds up. Those are all expenses I really don't have when I'm in Thailand. And the emotional, the mental expense of driving, I really hate it. I don't know about you guys watching. I don't care what kind of car you give me. I hate driving. I hate being stuck in a car. And I try to design my life around not having to do this. I think luxurious life, part of it, is not having a luxury car. It's having the freedom not to have to do this. I'd rather go out and go hiking or go to the ocean or do something active or just do something productive, edit a video or make another vlog. But I don't enjoy this time driving around in a car. And when I'm stuck in the car driving, I start to reflect back on my life in Thailand. And it's pretty good. It's not perfect. There's a lot of things there's little trigger points sometimes during the month that are frustrating. Nowhere is perfect, but it does have me reflecting back on some of the things I really love about being in Thailand. I think some of those things I love about America, the efficiency, the newness, everything works, everything's orderly. We have systems in place. We don't have things like you have in Bangkok, where you're driving on the freeway and they're building an over-ramp and bricks and stuff fall down and kill people. That does happen in Bangkok. It doesn't really happen here, even when you have all this construction. But it does, I think the trade-offs of all that efficiency in the US, all the hustle, I just feel like I'm living less when I'm here compared to, I feel more lively. I feel like I live more life, and they say in America, we live to work. In Asia, other countries, they work to live. So I have some final thoughts. Let me park the car and get out and kind of share with you my final thoughts about where my head's at and what I'm thinking about next steps. So I'm going to find a parking area right up here and pull over and kind of say some final thoughts about this vlog before saying farewell. Oh, I'm going to say farewell to this guy and to driving for a little bit. Here's where my head's at. Here's where my head is at. Number one, I'm going to say farewell to the automobile for a while. I won't be seeing that for a while. I'm going to head back to Thailand. That's going to be my base, and I just feel better there. I feel more alive. I feel like I'm living more in Thailand and driving less. Here, I just feel like it's constant driving. It's in the car a lot. I don't feel as alive as I do when I'm in Thailand. I just feel like I'm more present with myself. And in regard to like wellness and massage and all that stuff, ice baths, that also makes me feel better. It's just harder to do here. Constantly driving, constantly parking. And I want to do more living and less driving. And I can do that in Thailand. So I'm going to head back. I'm going to head to the airport, saying farewell to my rental car. I don't want to see it again for a while. And my next vlog will be coming to you from Thailand. So I'm going to go do a little bit of celebrating. Looking forward to getting back. And I will see you on the next vlog coming to you from Thailand. Farewell from Austin.